And it was an extremely high level of tennis. It was hard to tell which way that first set would go, but Laura Siegemund just looked so comfortable on court.
Yeah, outside of that one game, this was maybe the best set of tennis I've seen her play in a very long time, actually since last year here when she beat Alexandrova in the first round. And she was the braver one in the tiebreak. I do think that Zheng needs to be a bit more aggressive here in the second set if she wants to turn this match around.
So if you're just joining us here on John Cain Arena, we have had an entertaining first set between the 5th seed Zhang Qinwen and Laura Siegemund. 80 minutes of playing that first set, and it was in favour of the German. Just looking to take a breath because, boy, did she play some high-level tennis there, Siegemund. A bit of a reflection for Zhang. She's just taken a toilet break. That's some unbelievable tennis produced from Siegemund. She served well, big off the baseline. Let's talk about those drop shots as well. And now I guess the story for her will be whether she can maintain that high level of tennis for the remainder of this match.
Yeah, and we talked about how well Laura Siegemund played, and take a look at this. This is Zhang Qinwen, and the return placement really speaks the language of the entire first set. She's making the returns, but it's very conservative, right? Not enough depth, not big placement. She's playing it safe, big margins, and this is Laura Siegemund. She has a lot more variety. She has the short ones that she slices and chips, and then she has great depth on others, a bit more to the sidelines as well. And that made the difference in these hardly fought sets that are contested in the tie breaks. 2-3 points make the difference.
So a big moment here for Laura Siegemund. The 36-year-old world number 97 has just taken the first set against Zhang Qinwen, 7-6. Let's just have a look at the win predictor now. We've had a 55% swing in favour of the German.
Interesting. Yeah, she is very good against top 10 when she wins the first set. 7-2 versus top 10 opponents after taking the first set. I think that's a very good stat for a player whose highest ranking was 27 in the world. But as you can see here, she's a fantastic competitor, and she does like the big stage, and she does like the big opponents. She loves to think through a match strategically.
Yeah, you said her tennis IQ was extremely high. I mean, she doesn't really need to change anything.
No,
she just played the perfect set, and it's just about maintaining that level, and I guess the belief, too, that she can get the win.
And just physically, whether she can uphold that level of play. This was high intensity, way over an hour first set. You can see as Zheng had some knee problems in the past, some wrist problems. You don't see it under the wristbands, but she is wearing some tape there too. And the Chinese fans will do their best to bring some energy into Zhang Qinwen to turn this match around.
And if we talk about what Zhang needs to do to turn this match around, what would be a couple of key things you think she would need to do?
For me, I think she needs to take a bit more risk. I think she's playing the match conservatively, and if Laura Siegemund was not playing as well, it probably would have paid off, because this is still a very, very close first set that Zheng could have easily won. But considering that Laura Siegemund is playing one of her best matches in the past year or so here, I do think Zheng needs to do a bit more. I think her forehand has landed in the court quite short at times, needs to find more depth and just take more of an initiative. Because if you look at the forced errors, which is always a great indicator of who's leading the game, Zheng has a lot more forced errors than Laura Siegemund has. She has 20 compared to only 10 on Laura Siegemund. So it just tells you the story of who is in lead of the baseline rallies, and I think that's something she will look forward to changing now.
as Zheng Qinwen makes her way back out onto court. Has only played one match so far in this 2025 season. Chose not to compete at the United Cup. Needed a bit more time to rest, recover and train for the Australian Open. And now she's under some pressure. Really has been tested in this second round match. Cloudy conditions here in Melbourne. But the rain has cleared and the roof is off, which is a great sign.
Second set.
And we will have Aryna Siegemund to kick things off here in this second set. Looks like Zheng will just have a change of rackets. That ball just flying off her racket.
Thirteen, 15.
There from Zheng. Continues to run down those balls.
30 all. (40-30).
Still seems she's trying to find that range on that forehand.
Yeah, and especially on the forehand return, a lot of unforced errors.
Gang.
And a perfect start
Siegemund.
for Siegemund. She holds in this second set, 1-love.
Yeah, it just seems like that forehand down the line is not quite finding its target yet, Zheng. And Laura continues to play some fantastic tennis here.
Well, I like her energy. She hasn't, you know, sometimes you think after playing a tough first set, that energy or that intensity can drop, but she's maintained it, if not lifted up a notch. And that was such an important game, just to hold there and let Zheng know she's not going anywhere.
A very mentally strong player, studied psychology via correspondence school, so she knows all the ins and outs about practicing the mental strength as well as the physical and tennis strength. Seems to be changing shoes here.
I don't see that too often. You would have thought maybe she would have changed them when she took that toilet break.
Yeah, and she already, just as a reminder, she already has a time warning, so not exactly sure how this will be handled. There, I do think chair umpires give a bit of leniency when there is an emergency in a tire.
This is longer than normal though, so Tom Sweeney just assessing the situation. Maybe a bit more time there for Zheng to assess how to approach this next service game. Under a little bit of pressure, a set in love 1.
Love 15.
Take that. Impressive return. Smack bang on the line. She has read that return so well today, Siegemund.
$15. $30-15.
Just a bit of frustration you could see there from Zheng. Very understandable. Is playing a player just inside the top 100 who's playing well above her ranking. And sometimes that bit of adrenaline can help you raise your game.
She just seems to be struggling with that slice forehand off the racket of Siegemund. It just doesn't quite get around that ball.
Yeah, especially down that she keeps trying to hit that down the line. Maybe it would be better to just keep it cross court for the time being until she finds her rhythm on that slice serve. It is unusual because it comes from the forehand side, so it continues to move away from you.
$30-40.
You would think she would make that almost every single time, but it's the pressure, right? I mean, she had the whole court.
Yeah, just aimed it too close to the line.
So break point now for Lara Siegemund.
Siegemund.
And she gets the break. Lara Siegemund finding her way into this match. She's up a set and
Siegemund
2
leads
love.
by 2 games to love.
I guess we've been asking the question as to whether she can maintain that level of tennis for another set or 2, and she certainly has proven that she can. Off to a flying start in this second set.
Yeah, brilliant job in keeping up the intensity after such a tight first set. And we continue to speak about the return, and this is now becoming a big issue for Zhang Qinwen. Lara Siegemund has won almost double the amount of return points compared to her opponent. And I wonder whether Zhang might have to, she likes that deep stance on first serve, but because Lara Siegemund's first serve is actually not very fast, it's around the 150k an hour range, she might want to take a few steps forward because she keeps letting that ball drop and then just not quite getting the depth. That was much better struck.
I just seem to have a little bit of extra depth off that return and first shot.
It becomes a problem on this side here, on the deuce side. You see how far behind the baseline she stands, and Siegemund's favorite serve is that short slice wide that stays so low. And then Zheng tries to go down the line on it. She missed it, but it's always the same pattern, right? She goes down the line, 15, the whole court is open. 30.
Look at the court position in that last point. Zhang, a good 5 feet behind the baseline. Siegemund on that baseline, if not just inside. You would normally, you know, pre-match, you would think it would be quite the opposite, but just goes to show how well Siegemund is playing today. Willing to take a few risks. And there you go, 61% ground strokes on the rise by Siegemund. So another unforced error off that forehand of Zhang, and it gives Siegemund an opportunity here to take a 3-love lead in the second set.
Juice.
Made it.
Oh, you can't get much closer than that.
Just
1 millimeter. On the line. I think Tom Sweeney for a second thought it was out and he called the wrong score. That's how close that last backhand shot was.
Wow.
Advantage, Siegemund.
Do you feel like Zheng is playing almost like with a handbrake on?
Yes.
She looks like she's flat to me
Yeah.
on court. You
Yeah.
know, she's just doesn't have a spring in her step, and understandably so. That's been taken away from her, but I just find she's so far back behind that baseline.
Yeah, I mean, Siegemund is playing really an almost flawless match here. But Zheng just feels like she's not free right now, as free as we've known her for the past 5 months or so. Now, that was a lot more
Advantage, Zheng.
pace. Just swung at it. And maybe she needs to do it. And this is the thing about best of 3. She might just be finding her rhythm, but it's already a set and a break down, and you do feel the stress and the pressure of the scoreboard.
Yes.
Two very different tales, isn't it? Zheng's still trying to find her range, trying to settle in this match, and for Siegemund, it's really about continuing to play to win. As much as it is physical, it is so much more mental too.
Left fist. Left fist.
He just needs a little bit of luck there, Zheng.
Advantage, Zheng. Deuce.
Does it seem to you, Andre, that Zheng just isn't willing to hang tough in the rally? Like she's trying to pull the pin too early.
Yeah, I do think she's definitely, I mean, it is her game in a way to change direction very early in the point, but I agree 100%. I think she's going, especially when you're not feeling 100%, you're not feeling your shots. She's missing a lot of down the lines on both sides now.
Let first serve.
On the forehand a bit more, but every time she wants to go down the line, it seems to be a very shaky kind of ground stroke, and she's been trying to go down the line quite frequently.
Advantage.
Again.
Siegemund can't believe it.
Wow.
3 millimeters in this time.
Well, and these are the games that can really pivot a match. 2 of these, a net court, and Siegemund must feel like things have conspired against her here.
Please.
Zheng
New
finds
balls,
a way.
please.
Gets on the board here in this second set. Back on serve.
Siegemund leads by 2 games to 1.
Well, after fighting off a couple of points to trail love 3, Zheng just paints the lines a couple of times, gets a little bit lucky with the net court, and before you know it, she's back inside this second set.
And now that psychology degree that Laura Siegemund has really comes to play, because this has been, depending on the perspective you take, very lucky on Zheng's behalf and very unlucky on Siegemund's behalf. Tennis players require short-term memory, but very much right now here if you're a Siegemund fan.
A very different scoreline, 7-6-3 love to 7-6-2-1, right?
Yes.
Time.
Cain Arena for this women's singles second round match between Laura Siegemund of Germany and Qinwen Zheng, the 5th seed from China. And boy, what a match it has been. It's Laura Siegemund who took the first set 7 games to 6 in 80 minutes and broke early on in this second set. Had opportunities to take a 3-love lead, but Zheng has fought back and now serving at 1-2.
Love. 15. On.
recognising Zheng way behind that baseline.
15-30.
Got great hands, doesn't she?
And what I really love, oh, we get a replay, that's nice, how she goes inside into the ball. Take a look at this. She moves forward into the ball when hitting that drop shot. We sometimes tend to go back because it's a slower shot rather than a topspin ground stroke, but she does it so well using her body weight.
Time violation, second serve.
So she received a time violation in the first set. And now a second time violation, which means...
I understand, but we do have it in, we have it in 6 places. So look at it before you, so if you look before you start your motion, then you'll be able to get a better feel. Yeah, but before you arrive at the baseline, if you look before, you'll know how much time you have. Seconds.
So Zheng, it means now she's lost her first serve. What a moment at 15:30. Oh dear.
This is a tough position to be in. She says she can't see the shot clock, and it is hard. It's up on the top of the screen, of the big screen, and on the side. So she would have, you can see it right there on your left-hand side. So she would have to turn her head to see it.
30-40.
This is a great response, but you can see her just getting very emotional, and it's all coming together. Her not playing the best, the opponent playing the best match she's played in a long time, and then the 2 time violations on top. It's a lot to take in. Just remember, she's only 22 years old, no matter how mature she seems.
Cain, Siegemund.
So with that double fault, it gives Lara Siegemund a 3-1 lead in this second set.
Siegemund leads by 3 games to 1.
So a lot of emotion on court right now for the 5th seed, Zheng Qinwen.
Thank you.
Concerned looks on the face of the Zheng camp.
$15 left.
But yeah, this feels like a
15
must-win game for Zheng Qinwen, just because of what has just happened. Just feels like some danger in the air of her to unravel with everything going on.
$30-15. 40-15. Siegemund.
So Siegemund gets herself out of trouble on that last point. 4-1, second set.
Siegemund leads by 4-1.
Well, Dre, you would have a really good idea of what could possibly be going in the mind of Zheng Qinwen. Another forehand, really a regulation shot, and just misses it wide.
It seems to me that she's just lost a bit of clarity here with having become emotional because of the time violation, felt unfairly treated here. And just, you know, when you then start to become all up in your mind and overthinking things, the easiest back to basics stuff on the court becomes very difficult.
So just to recap, in the first set, Zheng Qinwen received a time violation and then received another one in her last service game, and as a result lost her first serve and then threw in a double fault. So just not going her way today. Women's second round singles here at the 2025 Australian Open, and Laura Siegemund on her way to a big upset. Took the first set 7-6 in 80 minutes. And now with a 4-1 lead in this second set. Zheng Qinwen just looking to settle some nerves right now. Get back on the board, apply some pressure.
And I will say, we talked about it at the top, and here we have, again, big Chinese movie star Toba Lu. He still believes and trusts in Zheng Qinwen to turn this around.
Almost on the edge of his seat. Really trying to encourage Zheng right now.
Yeah, that's nicely done. And we talked about it at the top of the game. This is the first time these two players are facing each other, and it can be quite a shock to the system facing Laura Siegemund for the first time, just because she is so crafty. She throws so many different things at you. The moment you think you have found your rhythm, she gives you something completely different, and it can just get you off your best game. She does that so well, and she has played a fantastic match up until now.
Exactly what she needs, a comfortable hold.
(40-15). Game. Zheng.
Perfect hold there for Zheng. Turbo Lou likes it.
Siegemund leads by 4 games to 2.
So the pressure back on now, Lara Siegemund, to continue on her winning ways. Such a big moment for the German. Ranked 97 in the world. Oh, beautiful.
15 love.
And Zheng's been getting to, you would say, 95% of the drop shots, and then knowing she can't even attempt that goes to show how well that drop shot was from Siegemund.
Oh, she thought she had it. And this is this loss of clarity that we talked about before, where she's clearly in control of the rally and just makes a strange shot selection. And I do think it's because Laura Siegemund has disrupted her rhythm over and over again, that she almost doesn't know how to construct a regular point anymore, because there are no regular points with Siegemund. She doesn't allow it. That's her big strength.
Love. .40-30.
Oh, she's swinging now, isn't she?
Yeah. You can really see the difference in pace. Just the average ground stroke pace has gone up in the past 2 rallies for Zhang Qinwen, trying to free herself from a ever so more dangerous situation here.
So an upset is brewing here on Cain Arena. Siegemund up a set and 5-2.
Siegemund leads by 5 games to 2.
Wow, Not sure if we expected this, but
I don't
wow,
think
you
so.
have to give credit to Siegemund.
So
She
much
has just
credit.
been so tough today.
Yeah, you're so right. She's played a fantastic match. And the last point again, just the perfect example of what she's done. Zheng plays 2 great points, seems to have found her rhythm. And the next thing Siegemund does is play a drop shot and throws Zheng again off the rhythm she has just found. This is a tough opponent in the second round. Yes, on paper, maybe not, but on the court, very, very hard.
So Zheng really having to reflect and think about how can she turn this match around. Women's singles second round here on Cain Arena, and Laura Siegemund, what a performance this afternoon. Won the first set 7-6 and leads 5-2 in this second set. And Zheng will now be serving
Thank you.
to keep her hopes alive at this year's Australian Open.
Thank you. Love 15.
Oh.
15 all.
Out.
13-15.
And I will say the forehand is usually the wing that goes for Laura Siegemund. It's held up very nicely today and up until now.
Too good. Both players showing great court craft. There's the hustle there from
14,
Siegemund, but even that
15.
slice there from Zheng.
That was well handled from both. First that knifed slice of Siegemund's racket, and then a nice response from Zheng.
Game, Zheng.
Oh, this was probably the best game she's played all match.
It almost got to the point where she just had to hit freely, didn't it? And then the scoreline
Siegemund
says it.
leads
Go
by
out
5
swinging.
games to 3.
And she did what she needed to do. And now it's Laura Siegemund to serve it out to make her way into the third round here at the Australian Open. The toughest game, you would say.
You can see her closing her eyes there, does meditation and visualization, is very big on it, very keen on it. So maybe just went through some of the patterns she wants to put to use here serving for the match.
Lenfest.
You have to have some nerve to produce that at 7-6-5-3. I mean, she just has not wavered from that forehand drop shot, and it has worked as well.
Fault. Out.
30 love.
This is exactly how Siegemund would have wanted started this service game. And now only 2 points away from this match.
Love.
And with that last forehand volley winner, it gives Laura Siegemund 3 match points.
Forty, 15.
Not quite yet. Zheng trying to stay in this match.
Still 2 match points.
Siegemund.
Laura Siegemund, the world number 97, has taken out the 5th seed, Qinwen.
2 sets to love, 7-6, 6-3.
Her first WTA top 10 win at a Grand Slam event. What a performance. And the look on her face just says it all.
A huge upset, and what a way to do it. She played a nearly flawless match. Perfect tennis IQ on display, aggressive when needed be, and goes up to her coach and fiance Antonio Zucca. Tom Bells, the head coach of the German Tennis Federation. This is a huge win for her. You can see what it means.
She has become the first German to claim a WTA top 5 win at the Australian Open since Angelique Kerber in the 2016 final. She's been around a long time, Laura Siegemund. And just an incredible performance on Cain Arena. Not to beat today for the 5th seed, Qinwen. Didn't play her best tennis today, but a lot to learn for the young 22-year-old.
Yeah, that's the good thing and the scary thing about Zhang Qinwen's game is there's still so much room for improvement, even though she's already one of the best players in the world. And this was not her day. She did not play her best, but it was made very, very difficult by this woman here, by Laura Siegemund, who did everything in her power to disrupt Zheng's rhythm and did well.
So Laura Siegemund into the 3rd round again for the 3rd time in her career. But I think she'll take some time to enjoy this win. Came out with a game plan and executed point after point. She is the 2nd oldest player in the draw behind Tatiana Maria. Very, very experienced. Just didn't unwaver from her game plan today. Big upset here at the Australian Open. And here's the winning moment when Laura Siegemund took out the 5th seed, Zhang Qinwen. Delight on her face and a relief. And let's hear what she has to say with Duncan McHargue. See what she has to think about her win this afternoon.
Well, Laura, congratulations. An amazing performance. You've just knocked out the number 5 seed here at Australian Open 2025. You seem to come out here with a clear game plan. Can you now tell us what it was?
Yeah, I knew I just had to play more than my best tennis, and I had nothing to lose, so I just told myself to swing free. And you know, she's an amazing player. She's yeah, just one of the best players right now. And but I know that I can play well, and I just wanted to show that to myself and make it a tough fight. You know, and some days you just go outside and you have the ball in the racket.
That first set went for a whopping 1 hour and 20 minutes, and you were really brave and aggressive throughout it. How important was it to remain that aggressive in that first set tiebreak?
Yeah, it was very important. I mean, I think I was dominating the baseline rallies. She's obviously a much better server than me, so I needed to make the points once the ball was in the rally, and I tried to be extremely aggressive. I tried, you know, not to do too many fancy things, but like really stick with my clear plan, and I think I did a great job with that. Then it was getting very physical, and I was thinking about my off-season and why I'm doing all this running all the time, and I told myself, now you have to run.
Absolutely. Now, one of the people in your team is also your partner as well. So what's the best part about that? And what's the worst part about that?
There can't say nothing wrong now. First of all, I love you very much. The best part about it is that we're spending our life together on the tour. You know, it's very hard to keep a relationship if your boyfriend is not, or your husband or whatever is not traveling with you. We are sharing all those great and all those terrible memories together, how life is supposed to be. So that's the best part about it, and he's always by my side, which I really appreciate very much. And the worst part about it is probably, yeah, that, you know, if there are not so nice moments on the court, he's coaching me, and then you kind of carry that sometimes, or it's difficult not to carry that outside into the relationship. And that's a very difficult part of, I think, all the couples that work together know what I'm talking about. But I think we're managing really well.
Absolutely. Just the final one from me, Laura. We love watching you play. because you're such a feisty competitor. We could hear the come-ons courtside. It actually reminded us a little bit of an Australian tennis great that's so popular in these parts, Leighton Hewitt. Is he a little bit of an inspiration to you, Laura? Where does the competitiveness come from?
I think it's something natural. I'm sure with Leighton it was the same. It's something I don't need to like create. It's just in me. I'm really competitive, just a grinder and a fighter, which is maybe not always so popular for the opponents, you know. But that's just me. It's myself to just fight every point, never give up, and I think I get rewarded many times for it.
Okay, well, I think you broke a few Chinese fans' hearts here in John Cain Arena, but you won a few new fans here as well. Congratulations, moving through to round through. Laura Siegemund, everybody.
Well, she said she had to play more than her best tennis today. She had nothing to lose and swing free, and I think she executed all three beautifully today.
She definitely did, and what a beautiful interview to see the emotion and everything, all the work they've put in together as a couple and a team. And now probably the biggest challenge. What do you write on the camera after such a big win? Her biggest win at Grand Slam level.
She describes herself as a grinder and a fighter, and we saw a lot of that today. And why not carry that through to the next round, where she will take on the winner of Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova or Anastasia Potapova. That to be played a little bit later on today. But talk us through the match and what stood out for you, Andrea.
Yeah, I think that you can see the serve and return. We don't have the return points here, but we've talked about it aplenty. The return and the serve really made the difference, 80% on first serves. And I really think the story that the stats don't tell is how disruptive Laura Siegemund's game was to Zheng Qinwen's game. Changed the rhythm frequently and well, and gets rewarded with this beautiful moment.
Such a beautiful sight there, just the relief and the happiness and the joy of all those years spent on tour and all that hard work paying off. Not only for herself, but for her team as well. Such a nice moment to be shared. You don't get a lot of them out on tour. You really need to soak it all up. And what a performance there for Laura Siegemund. And why not let it carry through? So let's have a look at the draw and who she does play next. And as mentioned, it will be the winner between Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, the 27th seed, and Anastasia Potapova. This is the top half of the women's draw. Siegemund moves into the third round for the third time in her career, taking out the 5th seed Zheng Qinwen in 2 hours and 16 minutes, 7-6, 6-3.